News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Monday on Wall Street, where the S&P fell as a rout in chipmakers offset gains, and the war in the Middle East has upended global markets. We do bring you closing numbers each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 lost 25 points. NASDAQ down 154 points. The Dow gained 50 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.34%. The 2-year yield at 3.82%. WTI closed the day more than 4.5% higher, topping $104 per barrel. That's the first time U.S. oil has settled above $100 a barrel since the war started. Brent crude gained more than 1%, topping $114 per barrel, and Bitcoin is down 0.1%, around $66,000. We're going to bring you more information from Iran in just a moment. But first, the FBI is now saying that the man who crashed his pickup truck into a synagogue in Detroit earlier this month was carrying out an attack inspired by Hezbollah. Detroit FBI head Jennifer Runyon says Ayman Ghazali, born in Lebanon, made a video before the attack at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township, saying he wanted to, quote, kill as many of them as I possibly can. Police say Ghazali had just learned several members of his family had been killed in an Israeli airstrike. Authorities say none of the 140 children, teachers, and staff inside the synagogue were hurt, and the gunman killed himself. Now to Iran. The White House threatening further escalation of attacks on Iran, including critical civilian energy infrastructure, as the fifth week of war affects global markets. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump has not ruled out ground operations.
The president has been asked about boots on the ground or alleged ground operations various times. He's obviously declined to rule them out. It's the Pentagon's job to provide maximum optionality to the president. It does not mean he's made a decision.
Leavitt says Iran's best move would be to make a deal. Now, the president is also threatening to destroy Iran's energy infrastructure if they don't reach a deal. Trump claims great progress has been made in talks, but warns the U.S. will, quote, blow up and completely obliterate Iran's energy facilities. President Trump told Bloomberg's Anne-Marie Hordern by phone that Iran wants to make a deal.
Obviously, that is not the message we are getting out of Tehran when it comes to their semi-official news agencies or some of the leadership that is now taking a more robust tone. They're not saying that they are negotiating.
Bloomberg's Anne-Marie Hordern. And Trump has not ruled out a takeover of Carg Island. Michael Allen is a former national security official.
The president is seriously thinking about taking Carg Island. I'm not certain that he would. It might be just something that gives him leverage, allows him to take an economic hostage if the Iranians continue not to cooperate. I think he's making sure he's got the tools in place to do that if he feels like he needs to.
Former national security official Michael Allen on Bloomberg's Balance of Power. And 50,000 U.S. troops are now in the region. Secretary of State Marco Rubio was asked about President Trump's post on social media, claiming the U.S. is talking with a, quote, new and more reasonable regime.
There are clearly people there talking to us in ways that previous people in charge in Iran have not spoken to us in the past. Some of the things they're willing to do, some of the things they're saying they're willing to do. Obviously, they have to go do it. We're going to test that proposition very strongly because we always prefer to settle things through negotiation and diplomacy.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking to ABC News. Investors are also assessing new comments from Fed Chair Jay Powell, who says the Fed's tools have no meaningful effect on supply shocks.
Energy shocks have tended to come and go pretty quickly. Monetary policy works with long and variable lags, famously. And so by the time the effects of a tightening in monetary policy take effect, the oil price shock is probably long gone, and you're weighing on the economy at a time when it's not appropriate.
Fed Chair Jay Powell at a Harvard University event. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris, and this is Bloomberg.